Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about dies. I love die cutting. I think it's fun. You get to use pretty papers, it's easy, and I love my Sizzix Big Shot that I use. And so if you are going to buy dies, I would recommend that some of the first ones you buy would be nesting shapes. Because these are so versatile and you can use them for so many things. And I keep all of my nested shapes just in a tray, a wooden tray, right on the corner of my desk, because I use these all the time. I might be cutting a tag, I might be cutting a photo, I just need a little shape for something. And so I use these so often that I don't keep these in packets, in sleeves, like I keep my other dies, because these I reach for all the time. So they're just always on the corner of my desk, and I put them on cardboard with some magnetic, with paper, so that they stick and they're not falling everywhere. And if I'm working on ovals, I can just pull those out, or if I'm doing tags, and I can easily move these around. And these are the basic nesting shapes that I have. I also have some hearts and some other things that I don't reach for as often, so they are kept elsewhere. But these shapes that are just basic shapes, I use all the time. So one of the reasons that I really like nesting shapes like this is because you can so easily make a shaker. And so I love to do shakers. It is probably the easiest embellishment that you can do to kind of raise the level of your card or your home decor or your Happy Mail. They're just so easy and they're fun and so easy to make with nesting dies. So today we're going to talk about how to do that, the different layers you need to do, and show you just how easy it is to make these. And so I've just used my nesting shapes. I've got some stars. They're probably with my Christmas things, but I want to just show you how easy these are to make. So in order to do a shaker, one of the things you must have is acetate, the clear covering that holds everything in place. And I really love Duralar. I have used this for decades with my school class, long before we were really doing shaker cards or anything like that. I use this for all kinds of things with art in my school classes. And so it's a little clear plastic film. This particular one, it has a little paper on the back between them. And when I cut these out, I just go ahead and leave that backer on my Duralar, because it helps the die machine cut through. And if your die machine is not cutting well through your acetate, just put a plain piece of cardstock behind it and it will cut just fine. And so what I like to do is I'll take my Duralar and decide the shape I want to cut. And so for example, if I'm cutting this hexagon, and I will use the single shape, let me show you just with the circle. I'll put my circle, my Duralar, and then whatever pretty backing paper I'm going to do, and it will cut through all of them at once. And that backing paper helps your die actually cut through the Duralar. And so you need those things from the largest of your nesting dies, the largest size you're going to use. So for example, let me show you the layers that you're going to need to create a shaker. You're going to need a top layer of your pretty paper. So I've got that, I cut from a piece similar to this. Then you're going to need your full shape of your Duralar and a full shape of your background. And that's why you'll cut those at the same time, because that's the one you're going to need the full circle of. Then you are going to take the one you're going to nest. Let me move this because maybe you can see better. Then you're going to take the one that will create this pretty border like this, and that's going to leave the gap for where your shaker things will go. You will situate your two nesting dies like this. These are about 1/4 inch apart. And then you're going to use a pixie tape, a low tack masking tape, or a washi to tape those together so that that rim stays the same through all of your die cutting. So let me show you that. So these, I have cut out several of these hexagon shapes from just plain old cardstock, and I've cut it several times. So each time I cut, I get my border shape, and then I have my insides. Now for our shaker, we won't be using the insides. We'll be using these border shapes, and this is just one way to create the thickness you need so that you have this depth so that your shaker bits can move around. So that's what we're trying to create with the shaker, is we're trying to create some depth for that so that there's a gap between your acetate window and your backing. And so one way to do that is to tape your nesting dies together and then just cut, 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 cut. And then what you have to do though is go through and you have to glue every one of those together until you get the thickness you like. So that's not my favorite way to do a shaker. I like to be able to cut just once or twice and have it done. But that's the basic way to start, okay? And then what I prefer though is to use, one option is to use craft foam. And so I have this, and one side of it is has a sticky back. And I also have a craft foam where two sides have a sticky back. Your dies are going to cut through both of these materials so easily, and it will be super nice how they cut, and you'll get a thickness. So on this one, I have just a white cardstock, and then I've got some craft foam and some more white cardstock. And but one thing to remember with these is they have adhesive, but that adhesive gives out really quickly in a shaker. So even though they have adhesive, you need to use some glue that really will hold it in place, because you will quickly get a gap in there and then your shaker bits can come out. You don't want that. So even though you're using a craft foam with sticky back, still use glue, okay? But I really like those because you can get thickness really quickly. And if I do double thick like this, that is a really nice thickness to give your shakers a lot of space to move around, and you can do a lot of shakers. But let me show you my favorite way is to use this cheap foam core or foam board from the dollar store. Now you don't want to use really nice foam core because it's too thick and it doesn't cut well. But one thing to keep in mind is this. If you are going to cut using foam core, don't use stitched nesting dies. See how, let's see. Okay, let's compare these. These are circles that have a stitched element, a decorative element it looks really pretty after it's cut. These are nesting die circles that they just cut the circles. If you're using foam core for a shaker, don't use the stitched, because this is what happens. That stitching smashes that edge and kind of forces it together so you don't get the thickness you want. But look how when I cut the foam core with the nesting die that isn't stitched, you get that nice thickness. And that really is all the thickness you need. Now you can cut it twice and get it even more and more thick, but that just is a really nice thickness for a shaker. So just keep that in mind. If you're using foam core, use the non-stitched nesting dies. Now, if you're using these, you'll still get a pretty good thickness. So if you really want that stitched look, actually the best way I think to get the stitched look is to go and cut your foam core with a non-stitched die, but then add a stitched die when you do your top decorative paper, and then you get that real pretty stitching look on your cardstock. So those are your options. All of these were cut with non-stitched nesting dies. And that's why you see in my tray that I have both stitched and non-stitched nesting dies, because you just use them for different things. So when it's time to cut your foam core, you do it just like I did with the cardstock. You put the nesting dies down, and then you're going to tape them down and run them through your die cutting machine. When you're doing these, you generally don't want to go back and forth on your die cutting machine. Generally, one cut or up and back will be enough to cut those out. So while your dies are taped together, so when they're untaped, you want to cut your acetate and your background, because those need to be full pieces. And then you're going to tape them together, and you're going to cut your decorative pretty paper that goes on top and your item that's creating your depth for your shaker bits. And you can leave those, and you should leave them taped together, and just move them carefully from your foam core to your pretty patterned paper, so that you keep the same gap between them like you should. And some of them, like you'll see some of my nesting dies here, they are still stuck together. I've just left them stuck together because I've used that shape as a shaker many times. And at the end, I'm going to show you some finished cards that I have that I've used with these shakers. All right, so then when it's time to assemble, this is where things get really fun. And so some people work from the top down, some work from the bottom up. It just depends on your preference. If you're working from the bottom up, let's do it that way, because I like that, because then I can really see my layers as they go on. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach my thickness to my base layer, and this is just white. Generally, I try to do my base layer in something that matches my pretty paper, but you'll see that the shaker bits, it depends on how you want your shaker bits to show up. So I'm going to just glue that on there, and this way I can more easily show you too how this comes together. And sometimes I'll go ahead and put a weight on it for a minute while it dries. So there you go. There's that. Then you're going to put your shaker bits in. And one thing I like to do is get a little tray, and my pretty paper has pinks and oranges. So I'm going to create a little shaker mix in here. These are some iridescent shaker things. If you get, I think I got these from the Dollar Tree, but when you do, sometimes you'll see chunks of paper. Go ahead and break those up, because you don't want the chunks, you want all of the little iridescent bits to show. And I like how that looks. And then I think I'm going to add a few little sparkly white bits. And some of these are diamond art leftovers. Let's get a little orange in there, and we'll put in a little pink. And this isn't a huge shaker, so I don't want huge amounts. And I like the look of that, so then I'll go ahead and, if I like the look of it, I'll dump them in. Now, you can, of course, go ahead and just put your shaker bits just right in. You don't have to put them on a little tray, but if you're not sure how it's going to look all together, you can do it that way. Okay, now we don't want those to move around. And so now we're going to come in with our acetate, and you want to just look at your acetate and make sure it's clean. And you don't want gaps. Like, you don't want to go through and do a little glue here and a little glue there. You want that to be solid. And then you're going to put that right on, and you have a minute, because it's glue, to adjust. And I think I actually want a little more. You can see that those shakety bits sometimes will stick to the acetate. That's okay. I'm just going to make a thicker line of this, because I also don't want the shakety bits to go under the acetate and just stick there in a weird way. And there we go. And I like that. And that keeps everything in and nice. Now, a lot of people will use like red line tape because it's really strong. And that works too. Do what you like best. And, but I kind of like the glue because I have some time to adjust it. If I got this a little ski-wampus, I have some time that I can move it around and make sure that it lines up with my backing really well. And then, as you can tell, what's next? We're just going to add our pretty patterned paper and get that on there. And done. And you can let it sit for a little bit with your with a weight on it. But look how pretty that is, and so easy to make a shaker. And so I need to show you some finished cards. These are my finished shakers so far, and they're just. This is one of those items that you can create when you're feeling a little less creative, and just go ahead and make some pretty ones and then use them as cards come up and add them to your cards, which is what I did here. So I wanted to have some colorful Easter cards. So this background piece, this was the middle. Like I had cut several of these and ended up with middles. And so don't throw those away. Those will add depth to your card, so you can see that there's some depth. And then I went ahead and grabbed some carrots that I'd made last year. I made my Happy Easter little thing, and there you go. So fast, so easy. And then here, last time I showed you my favorite new die, which is this 3-level butterfly from KS Crafts that I absolutely love. And then this was the inside of a tag shaker. And so then it just had the pretty paper on it. So I just stuck the butterfly on, added some patterned paper and a little inside something. And look how pretty, so fast. This card, because I had already made a bunch of butterflies and this was left over from a shaker I'd already made, it went together so fast and so easy. So here's the shaker. So you see there's the shaker. This is the inside to that. And then a bunch of flowers that I had made when I was, just wanting to do something crafty, but not knowing exactly what. And then I went ahead and added some little jewels and things on. But isn't that fun? That it just kind of raises the stakes on your cards. It just makes them interactive and fun. And these, you do have to add extra postage if you're sending them through the mail. Just be aware of that. And then here's my last one with that shape I showed you with the shaker. So this is the inside to this shaker, and I just loved how this turned out. And this was a flower I made last year, and it's just so fun. The shakers are pretty, they're cheerful, and I had these really pretty orange flowers as a shakety bit, and there you go. So shakers are fun, they're easy. We put that together very quickly, and I was talking you through it, and we still were able to do it quickly. And so try adding shakers to your card making fun. And I hope that today you'll find something good, beautiful, and true. And we're coming on to Easter. I hope you have a beautiful Easter season, and we'll see you next time.